2020. I think we all came into this year thinking that it was going to be our year, going to get that job, I'm gonna get that promotion, I'm gonna get more money this year, and then everything just kind of exploded in our face. You know, like that one Match.com commercial, or was it Match.com? 2020 ends up dating the devil, and that's literally what this year was. With all that being said, we all learned some things. I know I learned some things. Just to wrap up 2020, I am going to make a what I learned video. Just to go over, this year was really crazy. I gained weight, I tried to run, I ran so much that I ended up fracturing my tibia. I lost my job. I was the first wave of COVID layoffs. For the first 2 months of the COVID pandemic, I was pretty much a spiraling mess. I tried to cut my own bangs and do my own eyebrows, which did not go well. My best friend from college was arrested for being at a Black Lives Matter protest, and the DA tried to slam 5 felonies on her, so she ended up becoming national news. I feel like I am a 50-year-old, but really I just lived through 2020. I feel like a lot of us feel the same way. So if you haven't already, please don't forget to like and subscribe and comment down below. Number 1, I learned how to build out a schedule because every single day ended up becoming into a mush. Friday was suddenly Monday, Monday went back to Sunday. I just lost all track of time and days and dates and months. It just all kind of became a big blur. I learned how to build a schedule, like, you know, wake up, change your clothes, go to the kitchen. You know, just like a simple routine, which I thought I would never need in my life, but you know, apparently I do. Being quarantined just kind of mushes all of your days and weeks and months all together. Distractions are absolutely temporary. I used to spend a lot of time with my friends, and then once quarantine hit, and during the era of toilet paper stealing, I just realized that I am using my friends as a distraction to deal with myself and my flaws. Honey, you need to deal with the issues inside you. Like, do some real self-reflection. Always have a stash of food and toilet paper. I never thought I was going to add toilet paper to that list. I knew I should have a stash of food. You know, that's a part of adulthood, which I still haven't really gotten used to, but you know, having food is a part of adulthood. For some reason, I just did not think toilet paper was going to be a part of that. I think one person went to the grocery store and was like, hey, I need to grab all this toilet paper. It just kind of became a snowball effect of everyone stashing toilet paper too. And then we all just had a national shortage of toilet paper. It was what? Who would have thought that people would have gone crazy over toilet paper? I didn't, but apparently you always need a stash of emergency food and emergency toilet paper. Have a go bag ready because emergencies are always gonna happen. So have a bag ready full of like deodorant and band-aids and stuff just in case the apocalypse happens. I'm just kidding. Just in case another pandemic happens. Always have an emergency fund because you never know when you're gonna have to pay a strange amount of money for toilet paper. Honestly, I'm gonna keep going back to the toilet paper because I'm still pretty mad about that. I went out, there was no more toilet paper left, so I had to like eBay toilet paper from someone who stashed it. Anyways, always have an emergency fund. That's all I have to say. Some people really don't believe in science. And this is, you know, like that one woman that was all like, oh, like COVID isn't real, blah, blah, blah. She was like first in line to get the COVID vaccine. Basically, I learned that a quarter of the population is totally just does not believe in science or wearing masks or COVID, really. They'll have these little parade raves in Walmart running around without masks and, you know, screaming America or whatever they scream. I just never thought that we would come down to this. And so that is another lesson I learned in 2020, that some people really, truly do not believe in science. Wearing pants is surprisingly optional. Who knew that you could not wear pants while working? Honestly, 3 years ago, I would have never thought that I could just get away with wearing, you know, sweats or just like sleeping shorts while I'm working on the computer doing a professional job. Running will grow on you. I know I said that I hairline fractured my tibia, which I totally did, and I thought that I would never like running, but I ended up loving running, and I ended up loving, you know, the rush and the euphoria and the runner's high that you get. And I really learned that when I was stuck in the house and the only thing I could do was run. Do not cut your own bangs. I tried to cut my own bangs. Really did not come out good. I looked like the Witch of the West. I learned how to, you know, do my eyebrows after spending around 3 months of just like having totally lopsided eyebrows. TikTok skincare. Who knew that TikTok was gonna grow and become such a, you know, thing that Trump hates? I learned how to do my skincare, you know, retinol, sunscreen, hyaluronic acid. That was a great part of 2020. I found a new appreciation for the Dollar Tree. So I ended up finding a lot of cleaning supplies and toilet paper and stuff like that from the Dollar Tree. Also, another lesson that I learned in 2020 was that if you want to start a business, go ahead. My brother started a funnel cake business. 2 of my friends now do eyelashes. I started my YouTube channel. You know what? If you really want to go for it, just freaking go for it. I learned that a pandemic or, you know, borderline recession will really make people become entrepreneurs. Cooking is not that hard. Honestly, I sucked at cooking. In college, I almost burnt down my college apartment trying to make chicken strips in the oven. I have burnt toast. I always told my family I would literally be the worst housewife on earth. This year, I was like, you know what? The only place I can go is the grocery store. Why not just buy a bunch of groceries and attempt to cook? I ended up loving cooking. So cooking isn't that bad. It's not that hard. Honestly, I was probably just lazy and just not really trying. 2020 was the year that I really appreciated plants. I think 2020 really gave me the green thumb that I always had, but I never really touched on. That right here, she's so pretty. Reading books, like actually reading books. I, you know, would always buy a bunch of books and then I would never end up reading them, and then I would just have a really big pile of just a lot of books. My favorite reads from this year was Women Who Love Too Much. It was a New York Times bestseller. It was just such an amazing book. I absolutely love this book. It really changed me. I've always loved books, but this year like really taught me that, like, listen, when you want to read a book, like, you're gonna read it and you're gonna learn from it. And I just really love books for what they are and what they teach you. And last but not least, I learned a lot of self-love. I feel like this year was extremely hard on us. It was a very lonely time for me, but I learned how to love myself and self-love. I learned my flaws, the way I go about dating and other things in my life, and I just really was able to sit down, reflect, read a lot of books, and really work on myself in the way that I approach different situations. And that's the note that I want to end this video on. Anyways, thank you so much for watching my video. My name is Jasmine Lux. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like and subscribe down below. I make videos every single week, and I will see you guys next week.